Good day, artists. I'm Miss Kim. Today we are learning how to draw a fox. We're going to learn some interesting facts about our friend, the fox. Let's get started right away. Glad for everybody joining me here today. If you are just joining us, I am Miss Kim. This is Drawstrings Season 2. Let's start it off with our theme song, shall we? Hey, John. Still trying to get words to come out of my mouth correctly. Okay. Hey, Bo. If you like to draw and you also like to sing, drawstrings, drawstrings. With our imagination we can do anything. Drawstrings, drawstrings. Let's start an adventure with a drawing made by you. And while we are at it, gonna learn a thing or two. If you like to draw and you also like to sing, drawstrings. All right, we're gonna start on drawing a fox. Thank you all for joining me today. Gonna put the guitar down. All right, so today we're gonna be drawing a fox. They're super cool animals. I really like them. They're kind of loners. So beautiful, so many different kinds. There are actually only 12 types of true foxes, but 37 relatives in that family. So, hi Haley, how's it going today? So to draw a fox, we are gonna start with just a thin point marker. Hi, we're gonna start with a thin point marker. If you have just like a colored pencil or a number 2 pencil or whatever you would like to use at home, it doesn't matter. The point is to just sit down and make the art. It doesn't, not to get too picky and caught up in the process, because if you could get caught up in your head, you're never gonna make the art. So just use what you have available, you know? And we're gonna today with the fox, we're using a whole array of colors. We have some oranges, I'll show you here. We have some light to dark oranges. And then we have a bunch of neutral colors. So neutrals are gonna be your grays and blacks, and I have a really light gray here that's very pretty. So we have the grays and blacks, and then we have some browns. So that's the palette that we're gonna use for our fox. But if you would like to think outside the box, like use any color that you would like. If you want your fox to be purple, if you want your fox to be green, that's the point of the creative process, is it gets to be whatever you would like it to be. So let's get started, shall we? I'm gonna awkwardly turn this camera around, and then we're going to start drawing a fox. Okay, so here we have our paper, right? So with the fox, this is up right here. You can see my reference. With the fox is up right here, like the paper is, we have the binding here. We're gonna start a little bit to the top of the paper. Haley, I'm so glad to see you today. Thanks for joining us. And you know me, you guys, I always like to start with the eye. So let's start with, let's start out drawing that eye, okay? And we're gonna do this eye. We're gonna draw, okay, we're gonna start with like a lid here, just like that. And this is really just the casing. We're gonna come back and down and around like that. So it's almost like an almond. It's not completely a circle. And then like pretty much every other animal we've drawn, we do, like the eyes are, intricate. They have many parts to them. So we're gonna draw the inside of the eye, the pupil and the iris. So let's draw another like semicircle inside the circle that we just drew. And this is gonna look a lot cooler when we shade it too. So there we go. There's a circle of, there's the eye for the fox. We're gonna connect this right here, just like that. Very good, very good. And then the pupil of the eye for the fox is a little bit different than ours. It's elongated because it helps to catch prey at night. They have specialized vision that helps them catch smaller animals in low light. So we're going to have the reflection of the eye. Remember, like always, those are the white parts or the lighter, like white looking parts of the eye, just like that. And then this pupil here is gonna come down and it's pointed. So it's not like ours, it's not round. It doesn't take up a lot of the iris. So there we go, just like that. Now with the fox, along with many other animals, we also have, this is where it sits in the socket. So it's going to have some protective coverings. We're going to have the lids here. So let's just draw a lid like this, up and around, frame that eye just like that. And then we're going to do the same thing on the bottom here. And we're going to take this line, this top part, this top line of the eye, and we're just going to bring it down a little bit, just like that. It just shows depth. It allows you to have that measurement. So when we color later and we shade, we're going to know where to start and where to stop. All right, so we have one eye down. How many eyes do we have to go? I'll let you guess that out. So the second eye over here is a little bit obscured by the snout of the fox. So order of operations, we're just going to draw that first so that we know where we're gauging this. We're going to take this about 2 fingers over and we're going to draw a straight line down like that. Good job. And then right there, we're going to stop. We're going to stop right here because we're going to pull this out away from the eye so that we can get the nose here and the mouth and the jaw. So typically these will jut out far away from the center of the face, with a fox at least. So we're going to take this line, pull it out right there, and right there we're going to about to stop because we're going to draw the nose. So with the nose, the fox kind of has a button nose, super cute. If you wanted to just draw like sort of a circle, that's fine. We're going to start with this line here, head back in towards the face, down. And then do you see how it's sort of, there's different parts of the nose. There's where the nostrils are. The nose tends to look 3D. So this came out a little bit, and so we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side for symmetry. We're going to pull that out at the top. So the top of the fox nose is wider than the base of the fox nose. So this fox nose, and even this has a divider down the center, just like that. So divide it a little bit. And even if you look at your nose, you have sort of those dividing lines at the base of your nose near your nostrils. This is just more pronounced. We're going to start with one nostril. Hey Jeff, how's it going? There. And then again, because it's symmetrical, another nostril right there. And now that we have the nose and the eye, we're going to bring down these lines and see where we divided up this nose here, this dividing line on the nose. We're just going to bring that outside of the nose, bring it down and up, because that's the start of the mouth and the jaw area. So on the second part, we're going to bring this up and in back towards that eye. There we go. And then there's a little circle. It looks like a little bit of a sesame seed. That's just where the mouth pieces are gonna meet right here. So I accentuated that. Bring that back up. There we go. Now, since we have the top of the jaw, top of the mouth, what do you think we add next? Yep, we're gonna draw the bottom part. The bottom part of the jaw here. So this dips in a little bit, coming in off that top mouth part. Bring it back towards the eye, back towards where the mouth ends here, the corner of the mouth. There we go. And it's gonna go out a little further. It's gonna come pretty much straight under the eye, right here, okay? Thanks. Thanks, Jeff, I appreciate it. So this is gonna come in, this bottom part, this jawline here is gonna come out further than the top part of the mouth. It's gonna land pretty much under the eye, and you can line that up and go like that. You can say, wow, okay, I got that figured out. All right, so for patterning reasons, because the fox is, this fox I'm drawing at least, the red fox is reddish orange on top, and then it has some gray coat, gray fur here. We're gonna separate that out with a fine tip marker, starting at the nose. It comes down into a little bit of a V right there above the mouth. Good job. And that's going to come back up and curves underneath. There we go. And down. Bear with me, I know it's a lot of line work, but do you see where this line coming off the eye? It's going to line up right here. So we can draw little marking lines right there just to make sure that we know where we're going, because trying to navigate faces, doesn't matter if it's of people, of animals, like navigating faces is really hard, guys, and it's a lot of work. And I'm really proud of you all, and I hope to see your drawings if you're making any. All the drawings that I received last year were just incredible. Everyone's such an amazing artist. All right. Whew, what a confusing line. So we brought this out from the nose, we dipped down a little bit, brought it back up, dipped down, brought up, and that's just where we're making the lines to make sure that this is part of the white fur and this is part of the red fur. So let's take some more of these. Let's define the snout a little bit. Pull this line up, and again, this is going to help when we color. It's going to help us understand what our shading is going to be, because right here we have some darker shading, and then where the light hits the top of that snout right there, it's going to be a lighter color. Sugar bones! Every time I post these on YouTube, after the fact, I worry that I just seem crazy because I'm talking to people who are in the chat. All right, so because the second eye is behind the snout area here, we're going to start this now that we have figured out, we have mapped out where the snout is going to be. We can draw the eye, because, and why do we not do it the opposite way? Because if we drew the eye first and it's obscured by the snout, we could really mess up that snout area, right? So now that we have this locked in, let's start here. It's such a good indicator. We're drawing the top of the second eye. Bringing down the casing of that pupil. Nice, nice. And this has a little bit of a lid at the bottom, or a place. There we go. So I'm just going to do that real quick. Okay. So this second eye also has what? Light reflection. So let's map that out. Thanks, Bo. I appreciate that. I figured out how to get this like widescreen without it being sideways. It's always so counterintuitive. All right, and then we're drawing the vertical pupil, and that vertical pupil comes down to a point like that. So it's not circular like a human eye. There we go. Bottom, top. So you see how these are matching? Matt, I think you should. I would love to see that. All right. So here we go. We have the basis of the fox face. So we're going to say what's next. It looks like he has a little dimple in his fur here. This is probably where that jawline ends. So we're going to bring kind of like it almost looks like a smiley face in and of itself. But we're going to hook that line, bring it up and under. Good job, good job. All right. So let's start at the top, because I know everyone wants to get to let's go to the top now, because everyone wants to get to the fox ears. I know I do. So we're going to frame the face here. The fur of the face on this right side here, which I guess would be the fox's left, is going to come out almost to the end of the nose, but not quite, okay? So let's take about an eye length, come up here, and we're just going to curve around. And again, this doesn't have to be perfect. We're building hand-eye coordination. We're building motor skills. There we go. And I'm drawing this inner line here because this is just a lot of poofy fur. So again, when I go to color, these distinguishing lines are going to help me understand shading. It's going to help me understand that value. And now that we have this line here, we're going to bring it up. Circle, back around, just like that. Good job. Now the ears also have that outer membrane, that outer casing. So we're going to bring it back out towards the body, just like that. And then they have like, there's a bunch of fur. There's a bunch of hair in the ear. Do you guys have hair in your ears? Probably not yet. Okay, there we go. We got one ear down, and now that we have one ear down, what's next? Another ear. You got it. So we're going to curve a line right here for the top of the head. And if you can see, it reaches maybe the center piece. And again, you can measure this with your finger. Center of the eye, right there is where the top of the headline curves. Okay. And then with this ear, because we're looking at the front of the face now, it's not gonna start right here. It's gonna start inward. It's gonna start into the face a little bit. So we have this disconnect right here right now, but we'll fix that. There we go. Bring this down and over. Good job, good job. Nice work. And now that we have this line here, we're gonna take it out away from the face, curve it around. There we go. For the top of the fox ear, remember we have that membrane here. So we're gonna bring that out just like that. Good job, good job. Connect to the face. Get that hair inside the ear. Nice work, nice work. And if you want to add some like little fluffy distinguishing lines, they have some whiskers up here, just go ahead and do that. You can just do some light accents like that. Good job. And then for the back of the head, we're going to start at the middle of this left ear. There we go. Bring it down just like that. Nice work. And I'm also going to draw a distinguishing line, just like I did over here, kind of. Draw a distinguishing line inside of the head. There we go. And then this gets a little furry down here. But pretty much we're moving on to the body. So the body is furry too. These lines probably should be furrier than I made them, but that's okay. We can work on that in a little bit. All right, so we have the head of the fox. We're gonna move on a little bit to like the bust, the body of the fox. The body of the fox starts near the edge of the head, up here. And then we can just draw some jagged lines to show the fur, just like that. And then we're gonna also dissect where that red coloring and the white coloring are, because this is a red fox. So we're gonna bring some more of those like fluffy, jagged lines down a bit. Middle of the chest, right there. Okay, so this outer piece will be red, this will be reddish orange, center is white. All right, let's get to coloring. And with coloring, we can really clean this up too. And what I like to do, I like to start light to dark. I just feel like that's what happens with the markers. That's what's good for blending. So right now I'm using a light gray. You can use, again, whatever color you like. So we're just gonna get to some shading. So just follow along. We're looking at where the fur gets darker. That's where there's the indentation. That's when the fur sort of moves in towards the face a little more, so then it's not getting as much light. Speaking of light, the fox is crepuscular, which means it is most active in the dim hours, so like the very early morning, and then at dusk, it likes to hunt and be active. That's when it is most active. So the fox is crepuscular. If you're just joining us, welcome. Welcome to Drawstring Season 2. We are learning to draw a fox. There we go. Just like that. And right now we're doing some shading. Getting some fur in. And then because the head is closer to light and then it's sort of obscuring the chest area of the fox, this fur is going to end up being darker just because not as much light is hitting it. So we're always trying to keep in mind our light sources. John, I just saw one the other day, and I think I saw a coyote too. I thought it was a dog for a second because it was near the freeway, but it was definitely a coyote. But they're so fun to see. I really love seeing the red fox out in nature. There's something really poignant and beautiful about seeing the red fox. It's kind of like seeing a cardinal, just that pop of red is so beautiful. It's such a contrast to, you know, those more earthy tones. All right, so we're coloring in. We're starting with a light marker. And we're just coloring in. We're doing these shadings. John, do you know what happened to him? Did he leave a forwarding address or? There we go. So we're just helping to add depth and color. We're going to color in because it's gray up here on the ears. There we go. And again, this is very fast. Like, this is fast for me. So I'm sure it's fast for you guys. I only say that because I've been drawing for over 30 years. So... So I know this is fast. It doesn't have to be our best work. The point is that we are sitting down, we're doing it, we're creating something, we're learning new skills, and that's what's important. This can just be a stepping stone to when you all grow up and have art in museums. All right, right now we're moving to a light orange. There we go. Or whatever your dream is. Your dream doesn't have to be art. It can be a hobby. It can be something that makes you happy. Not everything has to be a career, but sometimes it can be. Okay, so we're coloring the light orange on the head. We're going around the ear, but we're not coloring all the way up the ear because there's black tips at the top of those structures. Okay, so coloring in there. Looking good, looking good. Let's just color in pretty much this whole thing, okay? We're coloring in the top of the head. And again, doesn't have to be perfect. And what's cool about starting with lighter colors is you get to go over them with darker colors. So if you mess up, it's really no big deal. All right, so coloring in there. Nice job. And you see I'm smearing a little bit right here, right here. That's okay, we can just work that in. And while I'm here, we're gonna color the iris, which is the outer part, that color part of the eye. There we go. Nice work. All right. Say, man, Miss Kim, you drew quite the large fox head. It's taken a minute to get it all going, but that's okay. That's okay. It's good that we're here. So coloring that in, get the top part of that snout. Nice work. Get the right side of the head over the eye. Just drop that color down into the iris. Nice work. Good work, good work. Bottom of the ear, not the tip of the ear, because that's going to be a different color. That's color in the neck and part of the body here. Just shade that in. Trying to make sure my hand is not covering up what I'm doing. Not easy, but that's okay. And I'm making sort of curved lines. They don't have to be straight lines. Nothing in nature is a straight line. So just coloring in there. And then we can get lighter as we move to the end of the work. It can just be a nice way to like blend until you're at the end of the piece, and then it just sort of becomes part of that white paper again. Okay, and then we have this piece over here. Cool. All right, good job. We got those base colors in. Nice work. Let's move on to a little bit of a darker orange. All right, so looks like he has a little bit of orange at the bottom of his pupils, so that's pretty cool. It already changes that dynamic there. We're going to shade using this darker color and see how I'm using these initial fine lines as indicators of where to shade, where to darken that fox fur. There we go, just like that. See how it's transforming already? It has some more depth. It's more interesting to look at. There we go. Okay. There we go, nice work. We're gonna bring this color, and again, I'm just making these sort of like quick, uneven lines because that's just the fur of the fox. Someone's always setting off their car alarm in my parking lot. There we go. Just like that. See how this is already transforming the image? So even though this was a simple, quick drawing, the fact that we can add color to shade and to show value, to show light value. Do you see how big of a difference that makes already? Do you see how much depth that has compared to just single color or no color? I mean, there's always black and gray shading, but this is a all the colors program. There we go. Just like that. Up under the ear. Very nice, very nice. I hope I get to see any drawings that are made today. This is a program for all ages. There we go. And again, fur gets darker when it's being obscured by the rest of the fox, the head of the fox. And then you can look at pressure too. So watch. When I am pressing down really hard, do you see how dark that line is? But what if I just did quick, light movement? Whoa! Do you see how that blends? How cool is that? And then it's kind of fun. And you can assign like a hum or a noise to this. You can just be like, and it makes it even more fun, honestly. Other side. Whoa. And then suddenly, we're ready to move on. All right. Putting that orange away. What do we need next? We are going to use this grayish brown color. It says clay. I don't know if I trust it. Let's color in the tops of those ears and see how nicely this blends right there when you just put a little bit of pressure on it. So here, lots of pressure, top of the ear, but watch when I just go lightly. Whoa, do you see how nicely that blends right there? Beautiful. Hey, Crystal, how's it going? How are the kiddos? Right now we're coloring inside the fox ear. Making sure we leave room for the hair of that fox inside the ear. Just like that. And then the other side. There we go, nice job. And then we're gonna take the same marker. We're gonna go over the red part of the red fox fur. This side is obscured. It's receiving a little less light, so it ends up being a little darker, just with the picture that I'm working off of. Fox beat box. There we go. And again, it doesn't have to look exactly like mine. There we go. Hey, Ember. Hey, Riley. Great to see you two today. Thank you for being here. All right, and then this area here, I've sort of been looking forward to. This gets more of that darker clay brown color. And same with underneath the mouth area right there. Hey, Colby. There we go. Looking good, you guys. We're going to darken up under the mouth here too. And under the nose. Nice work. And then, of course, underneath the head of the fox gets a lot of shading. It's seeing less light. It's seeing less light, which means the darker the shading. If the sun's not hitting it, or if it's only partially hitting it, you're going to have a darker color value. So there we go. Bring this up. And so we're using this kind of clayish brown color on the white part of the fur and then also the red part of the fur. If you're just joining us, thanks for being here. There we go. And actually, while I have this, I'm going to color in the nose. So the entire nose. I'm going to color in that clay color. There we go. Good job. And what I'm going to do as well, I'm going to take this and color in the very top of the iris because the eyelid shades part of the iris naturally. So that's typically where the iris is going to be the darkest, unless there's a direct light shining right into it. All right, so now what's next? I think we are at a point where we're going to get a little bit of like dark browns, dark brown, and let's see, actually, let's just go straight to the full black. We're going to use that black color because I just checked the time. We're going to color in that vertical pupil, just like that. Do you see how much that brings it to life? Just like having that contrast of like the light reflection and then the darkness of the pupil. And all of a sudden, he is a fox who has come to life. All right, we're going to color in this here, underneath the eyes, and over top. Good job. We're going to fill in the very middle of that ear, where it's the darkest. There we go, just like that. We're going to make this tip of the fox ear. There we go. That also gets colored black. And so it went from orange to clay to black. So we have a blend right there. All right. We're not going to color the top part of the nose. We're going to leave that the clay color because that's where the light's hitting. We're just going to color in pretty much the rest of it. There we go. Looking good. Get the little bit of the lip on that fox. Do a little bit extra, a little bit more shading. We're about to wrap up, you guys. How are you feeling? And if you want, you can always go back and play this video. If you need to pause and take more time, that's okay. We are working on a lot of information in a very small amount of time. All right, there we go. We have our fox. What do you guys think? I'm always going to find things to color, so I got to put this pencil away. I got to put this marker away, because if not, I'm just a fidgety person, and it's always going to be, I'm always going to look for things. All right, so we have a fox. Good job. I hope you stuck around for the entire video. If not, you can always come back later and draw it. We're going to flip you around, and we're going to sing a song about fox facts. Say that 3 times fast. All right, hey guys, thanks for joining me today. We're gonna play a song about our friend the fox. All right, here we go. Ready? I wrote this last night. That's typically how it goes. I like to think that I can get a ton done in advance, and it just never works out that way. So, all right. Part of the Canidae family, related to wolves, jackals, and dogs. Pointy faces, bushy tails, and puppy-like paws. Foxes are solitary, not pack animals. Live in small families called a leash or a skulk. Well, I'm a fox in a fox den. It's my preferred environment. Fox are known as scavengers. We are cunning predators. Well, I'm a fox in a fox den. It's my preferred environment. Fox are known as scavengers. We are cunning predators. Foxes hunt and sleep alone. They have spines on their tongues. Like cats, most active when the day is done. Red Arctic and Fennecit are true foxes on the list. Vertical pupils find prey when the sun is dim. 'Cause I'm a fox in a fox den. It's my preferred environment. Fox are known as scavengers. We are cunning predators. Oh, I'm a fox in a fox den. It's my preferred environment. Fox are known as scavengers. We are cunning predators. Use Earth's magnetic fields to help them catch a meal. Foxes are crepuscular, active when the light is low. With retractable claws, gray foxes climb up trees. Arctic foxes won't freeze until it's negative 100 degrees. Well, I'm a fox in a fox den. It's my preferred environment. Fox are known as scavengers. We are cunning predators. Oh, I'm a fox in a fox den. It's my preferred environment. Fox are known as scavengers. We are cunning predators.